This is more of a general question, but from the men's perspective, because this is how I'm reading it, and this isn't you. I think this is very common. It sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, you didn't trust him enough. You didn't feel safe enough for him to provide and to really guide and lead. The questioning could almost come off as, I don't trust your capacity to follow through. And I wonder if he felt almost like you were challenging, or he read partnership as more of, I don't trust you enough to be the man to guide. Is that
I didn't do partnership back then. No,
okay?
I didn't. That my marriage taught me what I needed out of
Okay.
my next mate, and that's partnership. That's what I learned about myself through
Got
that
it.
marriage.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I wanted to ask.
Basically, so
Right. Go ahead. Sonny.
basically, what I gather from it is, in all seriousness, I think he was exactly who he said he was. I think you might have asked him some questions while he was watching the game, reading his Bible, and he
No.
was like, "Baby, you know we're gonna get them joint accounts, joint bank accounts, when we get married, right?" He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Bears scored." And then next thing you know, y'all married. You're like, "Baby, about them bank accounts." You're like, "Bank accounts, joint bank accounts? What we talking about?"
Oh no, man, we can't do that. We
No,
take
you know what?
accountability off of the
I
man.
wanna-
No, we
I
gotta
wanna-
lighten
She
it up,
definitely was
man.
emotionally
No,
neglected.
I wanted to
She
get
was
back. I
neglected.
wanted to get back with something because the problem is, Bo, you mentioned something pretty important. You said your next relationship you want to partnership, right? Now, I often refer to women and put analogies together for them to be like cars. I'm going to do that with men this time. Pause. So let's just say you order a sports car, right? It's going to handle some. Oh, actually, you're going to do me that. All right, Sweeney, I'm gonna get you back, bro. So, let's say you went and got yourself a sports car. It's gonna be fast as hell. That's what you want, right? It might come in a fly ass color, might have big rims on it, all that. But you probably can't throw nobody in the back seat. It's not gonna have no trunk space. It's gonna be bad on gas. That's just how they come. It's almost, you can try to be as practical as you want, but at some point you're gonna have to make some concessions. I say that to say this partner person, men who think like that are generally weaker, are generally less accomplished, right? That's just not something that the men who run the world, the men who do shit, they're not really trying to partner up with the woman. And quite frankly, it will disgust men like that. So if you're willing to deal with the man who will partner with you and refer to you as a partner and treat you as a partner, you got to understand that you're probably going to go down a little bit on that masculinity. That's just how it generally goes. Right?
I'm okay
There
with
are,
that.
of course, your outliers, right?
Like
And
you
your
said, she
miracle.
said she okay with that, Trey.
Okay, that's fine. Then you're
Yeah.
gonna be winning. Because you can find it. I'm not gonna say that there ain't dudes like that. There are absolutely dudes who will compromise and all that. If you're willing to go down, you could there's some men who gonna let you run it, dom them up, whatever you want. But you just got to understand that the more control you end up having, the more input, the more say, the all likelihood he's going to be weaker.
That's subjective, but I'm okay with that.
The
Yeah, I
only
wouldn't
thing, the
necessarily
only
say
thing
that
I'm
he weaker,
disconnected
but
with is
she should be able to find a dude that's gonna give us some say in a relationship in spades. That's most men today.
I'm still think he was right. I hate to say it. I think the dude manipulated you.
No, he didn't,
Only,
man.
well, look, the reason why you said, see, you tried to absolve him, saying he was watching fucking Tiger
No,
Woods
I
and
was
shit.
joking, man.
That's what I'm saying. So you were joking. I'm being
Oh,
serious.
a real conversation that she didn't have, because I was gonna ask her. The real question that she didn't ask was, "Hey, when it comes down to it, and I need a bank account open, are you not the bank account? And I want to and I need my feet rubbed tonight, and you up in there working on your music. What comes first, the music or my foot rub?" And that you never asked him that question, because he would have
You
told
really
you,
gotta ask that.
It's a mess.
huh? You said he was an artist, right?
Yeah.
Like a musician?
Mm-mm.
Like painting?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. So you ask him like, all right, you up in that painting and I need my feet rubbed. Are you gonna come up here and rub my feet? And he would have told you, woman, I'm in
Hell
here
no.
painting. I'll be up in there later.
Mm-hmm.
That was like,
No.
and then like as far as like the financial conversation, I think I don't necessarily believe that he manipulated you. Because I don't necessarily believe that he agreed with all of that.
She just told you he did.
The reason why I say that is because she already said that she showed up submissive.
After.
She showed up.
But there are certain things that you just have to know. Like as a person, as a working person, I need to know what the breakdown financially of our relationship is going to be. And so you have to have those conversations.
And she had him.
No, he told you. So there was things. So you had bills that you had to pay, and he had bills that he had to pay, right?
Mhm.
And you had them. You had those bills coming out of your bank account, and he had whatever bills he was paying out of his bank account.
Mhm.
Y'all had that discussion, and y'all was doing that. Did a point ever occur where the money in his bank account did not suffice for the bills he agreed to pay?
Did the money in his bank account not?
Yeah, did he come up short and he wasn't able to pay? Not
No.
like every like a month or so, like maybe a month, and then it was like he was fairly consistent in this account, right?
Mhm.
And you was fairly consistent in your account, right?
Mhm.
He told you exactly what he was gonna do. This is your bills. These are my bills. This is
No,
what you're gonna do.
not like that. It wasn't like that. No, it wasn't.
See?
It
And
wasn't
that's
these
why
are
I try
your
to let
bills,
her
these are
say
my
it.
bills. It was what is the breakdown
No,
of the
I'm just saying,
household
like,
bills.
what I mean by that is like when you say these are your bills, hey, look, you're gonna pay the light bill, you're gonna pay the
Oh, you
not
mean
these are
this is your responsibility. This
yeah,
is my
this is your
responsibility. Yeah,
that's
for
what I
sure.
mean. Like he told you, like, all right, this is what you're gonna do. I'm gonna do this over here. Y'all discussed that, and you said he was fairly consistent on his end.
Now
You
that was consistent, yeah.
the
But,
only
but that wasn't the issue that I was talking about.
I was about
Right.
to get to that. If the only thing that came into play, right, was you asked about some joint bank accounts and wanted to be so you said that you had to know about the joint bank accounts. He didn't talk to you about the buying of the house and something about some insurance. If I had done, but if I outside looking in, listening to your story, y'all definitely talked about the house because you found out that he wasn't really sold on buying a house. You just decided to buy one anyway because you wanted one.
No. So surrounding that, I was basically, we stayed in my grandparents' condo for a number of years, right? We were supposed to buy that condo, but can I cuss? I'm sorry. But
Yeah,
he procrastinated for so long on that the property value skyrocketed. And there was no way that my grandfather could justify selling it to us for what he was going to sell it to us for. So we didn't have a choice but to move because he was selling the condo.
fair enough.
So, because he wanted to come from up under, he wanted his name off the condo. We were supposed to buy it. The property value doubled, and there was no way that he would be able to get the price he wanted to give it to us for
Right.
past the HOA. So, to solve that problem, he was like, "Don't worry about it. Here's some money. Go look for a house. Buy you a house. Cool." So, I'm trying to find a house.
Right.
Trying to find a house. There is no cooperation on his end. He's not involved. He don't want to do it. He don't want to none of that. But where are we going? Are we getting an
That was
apartment,
his credit.
or are we going to go on ahead
No.
and take this money
No.
to buy this house?
Right. Okay. So he didn't want to be involved.
Oh, what
in
did
the
he say to
process.
that?
Wait. He didn't want to be involved in the process. That's what you said, right?
Right.
Did he oppose your process?
No, he wasn't saying don't do it. He just was not in the process. I went to the showings by myself. I found the houses by myself. I did everything by myself.
Fair
What
enough.
about the communication about it? Did you guys communicate about what he wanted and what he did?
He didn't care.
I tried to, hey, what do you think about this?
No,
What do you
listen
want
to
in the
her. Let
house?
us tell it,
He
Swing.
knew nothing. He
Well,
knew
y'all
nothing.
funny.
He gave zero input, right?
I'm telling you, he didn't care. He said, "Hey, look, That's why I'm asking it. Like,
but
that's why
got
I asked the
mad when I
question.
bought the house.
Oh God. All right.
Well,
There we
You
go.
see what I'm saying?
There we
Where
go. Now
I
we
didn't
got
get
to
a
the
say
nitty
over
gritty.
this. You did.
the
You just
communication
didn't say.
I'm talking
That's where
about.
the rubber meets the road at. That's what I was trying to get to. If he, like, where was the point of contention at? Now I understand your frustration, because if you telling me you the whole entire time you didn't want to be involved in the process, you, in my eyes, it's like, okay, you telling me to do me, and then the moment I do it, then you tell me where was my input at. I can understand your frustration.
How was his credit?
What?
His credit.
Oh,
How was his credit?
his credit was fine. Both of our credits were fine.
I'm
No,
just trying to,
the credit wasn't.
I'm just
Oh,
trying to
yeah,
figure
the
out,
credit
like,
wasn't
why
an issue.
wouldn't he want to pull the trigger with getting a house?
No, it wasn't that he didn't want to pull the trigger. He didn't want to be involved in the process. He let her do the whole process. He didn't want no parts of it until she actually pulled the trigger. And then when he saw the end result, now he has a bunch of stuff to say about the house. When she was like, the whole entire time, you never went out to look at houses with me. You never went out there to go through the showings. You never did any of this. You never went through the financing with me. You let me do it all on my own. And once I finally do it, because I guarantee you, let me ask you a question, Bo. If he was happy with your choice, would you have been mad?
Would I have been mad? No.
Yeah. There you have it.
If you would have never bought the house, would you have been mad? If you was in an apartment?
I would have been. I definitely would have been upset.
So it didn't matter. So long as you got what you wanted, you got the house.
No, it wasn't.
No.
It was as long as something practical came out of it. Because buying a house in that moment was practical. That's just what it was. Because the housing market was so good then. I bought this house for under $100,000.
I understand.
Bruiser, the issue is y'all are missing the problem. The problem wasn't the
I didn't
buying
miss none of the problems.
No, the problem wasn't the buying of the house. She said, that's why I asked her that question. Had he been happy with the result, he said, all right, cool. This is the house you bought. We there. We done with that. She would have been cool with the decision. It was because he started contending with her decision after she had already pulled the trigger.
I already understand that, but there is
nothing else.
No, for you it's nothing else, but for me specifically, I'm not gonna tell my wife we're gonna have a joint account prior to marriage.
Oh my fucking
when
God.
she's making it clear to me that that's important. That's an important factor for her to marry me, and then I get married and don't fucking have a joint account. That's manipulation, bro. I don't care which way you.
I don't even think that would have been grounds for their relationship falling apart.
It ain't got to be grounds for you. She stated that was important to her.
No, she stated that one of the things that she felt was really triggering.
Okay, well, am I making this shit up, Boheen? Did you not say having a joint account was an important factor? That was a serious question. When I asked you to give me examples of a significant...
They went through 3 years without a joint account. It wasn't.
I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm just getting the information she giving me.
No, what I'm trying to explain to you, bro, the straw that broke the camel's back was the house. When he sat there and was like, I don't like the fact that you did, he started having contention about the house. That's her whole point, is that she was upset that he didn't want to do anything with her. But then at the end of it, when she finally made a decision on her own, because he wasn't a part of the process, then he had shit to say about the process. That's her point of contention. They went several years without a joint account and she was submissive the whole first year. It was until they had to pull the trigger on something. If you think about it, the first thing was they were supposed to buy her grandfather's house. That was the first thing. He drug his feet on it. They was forced out the house. Then the entire time during the buying process of the house, he was hands off. He didn't want to be a part of it.
I understand that. You're going to walk me through the whole process. I understand that. My question to Boheen is...
You're trying to make it a manipulation thing. It's not that.
My question to you, Boheen, is was the joint account thing that you said that was an issue for you before you got married? After you got married, was that an issue up until the time that you bought the house?
So
did you say it was an issue after y'all got the house?
After the fact, it was an issue, but it was just something that I kind of dealt with. I just dealt with it.
But even though you dealt with it, I get it. Even though you dealt with it, it was a problem for you, right?
Yeah, it was still a problem.
That's
for me.
all I'm saying. I'm not saying that it was the the
Would
main
you have divorced
factor.
because y'all had separate accounts?
Huh?
Would you have divorced him if the only issue y'all had was separate accounts?
We're not.
Uh-uh.
Listen, I'm not saying that was the
Would you have,
Catalyst. Right?
would you have
I'm not
divorced?
saying that
all
was the main
all
reason for y'all to divorce.
let's say y'all had joint accounts, and that issue with the house still popped up. Would you have divorced him over that?
Well, that's not the reason why I divorced him, but that's the reason why we started growing apart. So
That's all I'm saying. When I'm
Yeah.
telling you, there's a number of things. She's only giving us bits and pieces, the significant
yeah,
part.
it's
But
that's
if you
why I
look
say
at the
like the
collective,
relationship is
if you look
really
at everything
complicated.
collectively, you do see that a man wasn't a man of his word.
No, I'm telling you that the collective part
Trev,
was that
Travis,
he.
you need to be right with the gentleman,
I'm
man.
telling you that the collective part was the fact that he did not want to be in. She wanted to have a joint mind on things, and then the problem with her was
So many
that
comments, but y'all want us to follow
when
y'all.
when she did her thing, he had an issue with it, and she said that was the catalyst for things to go downhill. They didn't have joint accounts the whole entire time of the marriage, but when she ran it to that point where he decided that he had something to say about the choice that she made after he was hands off, that was the downfall.
Listen, again, Sweeney, I wasn't talking about the main downfall that
Y'all gonna
caused
keep it
the
going?
main
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
catalyst.
about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about
Yo.
it. I wasn't talking about the catalyst that caused the marriage to fail.
Yeah, he was just making a point
I tend to
about
focus on all of the things that can impact it.
yeah.
And then you gotta Kamehameha blow that really destroy everything.
But no,
But you gotta
I'ma
understand
tell
when you
you.
get into marriage, you begin to tolerate a lot of shit. And
I
then
don't know.
it's
What
Now-
I'm trying to
and
tell you
things
is that you're
bottle
saying that
up.
she was manipulated. There was no manipulation. He was who he was. She was who she was. They both discovered.
I get it. We can agree to disagree. Let's just agree to disagree.
Please do.
Me personally,
do.
if I
Please
give you
agree
my
to
word
disagree.
before marriage that I'm
Beating
gonna
the
operate
shit out of
XYZ
this.
and these things gonna be set in place for us, and I don't do them after we get married, that's manipulation in my book.
Oh my
Me
God.
personally.